Hello guys, today we would like to talking about pragmatics, meaning in context, communication in action. So, this presentation is followed by the three keywords. For the first, definition of pragmatics, and the second, Millsdale meaning and misfire, and the last one is speech act theory. So, before we explain in detail about this content, we would like to introduce ourselves for the first. My name is Stefani Listia Natalia and my friend,
My name is Aviati Wafarida.
and we are from English Literature 2025G. So guys, I think you might ask, what is the pragmatics? So let me explain for you what is the pragmatics. Pragmatics is one of the studies of the linguistic branch that studies the context of the use of language in communication. In this case, pragmatics focuses more on the function of language in real communication, which includes the study of how meaning is generated in interactions, how people understand each other, and how the use of language can vary depending on the situation and social relationships. It's simple, like meaning in pragmatics depends on the context, speaker's intention, and the shared background knowledge. So, for the second point, it's about Millsdale meaning and misfire. So, guys, in everyday life, we often communicate using sentences that have unclear meanings and are unspoken. When the speaker doesn't understand what the speaker is saying, communication breakdowns occur. In this section, we will discuss three main topics such as pragmatic misfire, pragmatic strategies, and background command and pragmatic inference. The first, pragmatic misfire. Pragmatic misfire is a condition where a conversation is syntactically and semantically perfect but socially wrong because of the implied meaning. For the second, pragmatic strategies and background comment. This point discusses why communication values occur in conversations. The first, politeness theory. Politeness theory is a pragmatic strategy used to maintain good social relationships, show respect, and avoid conflict during communication. People often adjust their language according to social situation, status, and relationship with others. So, for the second, it's about common background. Common ground is a collection of knowledge, beliefs, assumptions, and experiences that are shared and recognized by both the speaker and the interlocutor. And the last one, it's about pragmatic inference. Pragmatic inference is the process by which listeners infer hidden intentions or additional meanings from a speaker, not directly expressed in their words. In everyday communication, we often provide coded or implied meanings, and our interlocutors must make inferences using the common background and context of the situation for successful communication. So, we have an example about this point about the meaning and misfire in pragmatics. So let's look at the examples between Rama and Jenna. So Rama said, "Do you want to go for a drink?" And Jenna responds, "I'm sorry, I've got a boyfriend." So guys, I think you might ask why Jenna responds this sentence to Rama. Okay, let me explain to you. Literally, the sentence uttered by the speaker is correct, but there is a communication failure here, which can be seen in the response of the speaker or Jenna. To the speaker, the sentence is correct, but it has a hidden meaning that could be interpreted as an invitation to go on a date. So Jenna responds by saying, "I've got a boyfriend." In pragmatic strategies, Chinese refusal is a form of politeness theory through the words "I'm sorry" with the aim of appreciating the speaker's offer. Furthermore, Chenna's response also demonstrates a different common ground, where she interprets the speaker's offer as a way to that. Therefore, the pragmatic inference from this case is that Rama's offer of food is interpreted as Chenna's invitation to that, and she responds with a polite refusal. In pragmatic strategies, Jenna's refusal is a form of politeness theory through the words "I'm sorry" with the aim of appreciating the speaker's offer. Furthermore, Jenna's response also demonstrates a different common ground where she interprets the speaker's offer as a way to that. Therefore, the pragmatic inference from this case is that Rama's offer of food is interpreted as Jenna's invitation to that, and she responds with a polite refusal. So, and the third point, it's about the speech act, is explained by my friends.
Oh, guys, what is speech act? Speech act in a pragmatics is a speech act performed by the speaker with a specific purpose to influence the listener through utterances communicate in a social context. One of the main components in speech acts is performative verbs which function as verbs to ask to do something according to orders. For the example, Professor said, based on the result of the examination team meeting, I hereby declare that you have passed with honors. Explanation: the word declare in this sentence acts the acts the main structural components. This verb directly names the action the chief examiner is currently performing. Speech acts also have two types. The first type is direct speech acts. Direct speech act is a direct correspondence between the forms of a sentence in its function. The example, finish your homework. This explanation in the statements, there is conventional and direct relationship or correspondence between the sentence type and the speech act. This sentence use in imperative structure, a common sentence, and the resulting pragmatic function is purely a common. And the second is direct speech act. Direct speech act is a direct speech act using certain sentence forms for different purpose. For the example, can you give me a hand? This explanation statement is meant as a expression of asking for help, not a compliment. And the last is conclusion. For the conclusion, pragmatics help us understand how meaning is communicated beyond the literal word uses. Concepts such as pragmatic misfire, politeness theory, common ground, pragmatic inference, and speech as show that successful communication depends not only grammar but also on context shared understanding. By studying pragmatics, we can communicate more effectively and avoid misunderstanding in everyday interaction. That's all for us. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.
Bye bye, guys. Thank you.